Ours is the fury. These are the words of the Black Stag of Baratheon. One of my ancestors, Lyonel Baratheon, fit those words perfectly. Some men around the realm called him the Laughing Storm, because he had the habit of laughing loudly at his opponents, as well as in general, which made him a great favorite of the small folk. Lyonel fit the proper image of House Baratheon. With his black hair and blue eyes, he was tall and powerfully built, a swaggering giant of a man. Lyonel is described as being a head taller than Sir Raymond Fossaway, and almost as tall as Sir Duncan the Tall, who was measured at 6'11". Lyonel was considered one of the finest fighters of his day, and was famed for his prowess in battle. And the Laughing Storm truly brought glory to House Baratheon. In 209 AC, Lyonel Baratheon was the heir to Storm's End. Not a lord yet, but his time would come. Lyonel participated in the infamous Tourney at Ashford Meadow that same year. In the first tilt, he challenged Sir Robert Ashford, one of the brothers and champions of the Fair Maiden. In tourneys, Lyonel wore a cloth of gold surcoat bearing the crowned stag of his house. His helm had a rack of iron antlers. After breaking 9 lances, they both lost their saddles on their 10th course, only to rise together to fight on, sword against mace. Finally, a battered Robert admitted defeat, and Lyonel became a champion in his place. Lyonel fought multiple matches against lesser foes, often breaking into booming laughter the moment they touched his shield. Lyonel would laugh all the time when he was mounting and charging and knocking them from their stirrups. If his challengers wore any sort of crest on their helm, Lyonel would strike it off and fling it into the crowd. This made him a great favorite of the small folk, since the crests were sometimes enameled or gilded or made of silver. However, the men he defeated did not care for this behavior, and soon only crestless men were challenging him. On the 3rd day of the tourney, Lyonel was meant to defend his spot among the champions, but the tourney was put on hold. A hedge knight named Sir Duncan the Tall defended a puppeteer and attacked a crown prince of House Targaryen. This led to the first trial of 7 in more than a century. Duncan's squire, Prince Aegon Targaryen, asked Lyonel to join on Duncan's side. Lyonel eagerly accepted the chance to participate in combat and fight the Kingsguard knights, and tweak Prince Maekar's nose in the bargain. Lyonel knighted Raymond Fossaway shortly before the start of the trial, stepping in when Duncan was hesitant to do so. During the raging trial of 7, the Laughing Storm fought alongside Prince Baelor Targaryen against Prince Maekar Targaryen, and wounded a Kingsguard. What a warrior! Then the trial was over. Duncan had won, and Prince Baelor had died. But the Laughing Storm quenched his thirst for battle, and went back to Storm's End. Years after the tourney, Lyonel became Lord of Storm's End. He married and had 1 child, a daughter. As Lord Lyonel was a leal supporter of King Aegon Targaryen, 5th of his name, the king wished to ally with House Baratheon, and made the Laughing Storm an offer of marriage. In 237 AC, Aegon was pleased to arrange a betrothal of his eldest son and heir, Prince Duncan Targaryen, to Lord Lyonel's daughter. However, in 239 AC, Duncan encountered and fell in love with and married a strange, lovely, and mysterious peasant woman known as Jenny of Oldstones. King Aegon could not approve of the marriage of the heir to the throne to a commoner, and did all he could to have it undone. But Duncan stubbornly refused to put Jenny aside and abdicated as Prince of Dragonstone. Unfortunately, even Duncan's abdication could not restore the peace. Prince Duncan's actions wounded Lyonel Baratheon's pride, caused great grief to his daughter, and brought shame and dishonor to House Baratheon. The Laughing Storm was so angry that he swore a bloody oath of vengeance and renounced his allegiance to the throne, having himself crowned as a new Storm King. The rebellion was short, but bloody. The rebellion was eventually settled in a trial by combat between Lyonel and Aegon's champion, Duncan the Tall, by then a knight of the Kingsguard. During the trial by combat, the Laughing Storm was defeated by Sir Duncan the Tall. Lyonel gave up his kingship and swore fealty to King Aegon of House Targaryen. King Aegon agreed to betroth his youngest daughter, Princess Rhaelle Targaryen, to Lyonel's heir, Aemond Baratheon. Aegon also sent Rhaelle to Storm's End to be Lyonel's cupbearer and companion to his lady wife. Lyonel's exact relationship to his heir and successor, Lord Aemond Baratheon, is currently unknown. But after Lyonel's death, Lord Aemond Baratheon, my grandfather, took his place as Lord of Storm's End. It is true, the Laughing Storm was a great warrior, and he brought glory to House Baratheon